Ravens Nation, free agency is coming and time is ticking. The Baltimore Ravens have a real chance to compete for the Super Bowl, but if they don't make the right moves, it could all fall apart. Key players are leaving. Positions need urgent reinforcement, and decisions will shape the team's future. Who should come in? Who might leave? And what is the key piece that could help the Ravens take the next step? Stay with me until the end, because we're going to break down every need and show you exactly what Baltimore needs to be even stronger in 2025. Go Ravens! Fan, we know that a powerful offense starts with the offensive line. Without solid protection, Lamar Jackson has no time to throw, the running game doesn't work, and the whole offense collapses. Now imagine losing two key starters at once. That's exactly the danger the Ravens are facing in free agency. Ronnie Stanley and Patrick Mekari, two pillars of the line, could test the market and sign with other teams. If that happens, Baltimore will have to act fast to find worthy replacement. Ronnie Stanley isn't just a good player. He's one of the best tackles available this offseason. Losing him would leave a massive hole in Lamar's protection, something the team can't afford to ignore. Mekari, while not as high profile, is extremely versatile and can play several positions on the line. If both leave, the reconstruction of this unit will be urgent because without a reliable offensive line, the offense loses strength and puts more pressure on the defense to compensate. Moreover, the Ravens' scheme depends on a physical and dominant line. The running game, which has always been the team's trademark, needs efficient blockers to clear the way for J.K. Dobbins and company. Without a strong line, the Ravens risk becoming predictable and less explosive. The problem is, strengthening this area in free agency isn't cheap, and with limited cap space, Baltimore will need to be strategic. The team may try to retain one of the two starters or look for more affordable alternatives on the market, but the offensive line isn't the only concern. While Lamar's protection needs attention, the defense has its own headaches, especially in the secondary, where key pieces could be leaving. The Ravens' defense was one of the best in the NFL in 2023, but the secondary has issues that need solving. Brandon Stephens, who is likely to leave in free agency, allowed 8.8 yards per target, an alarmingly high number for a starting cornerback. Additionally, Marcus Williams struggled with injury, leaving the safety position vulnerable. And to make things worse, Kyle Hamilton, who was supposed to be the cornerstone of the secondary, has been used closer to the line of scrimmage, creating a gap in deep coverage. If Baltimore doesn't strengthen this unit, the team could struggle against more potent air attacks. The issue isn't just the departure of players, but also the lack of depth on the roster. The Ravens have young talent in the group, but relying solely on them is a huge risk. The team needs a reliable veteran to stabilize the secondary and bring experience to crucial moments. In recent years, we've seen how a solid cornerback can make all the difference, and if Baltimore wants to keep a dominant defense, they can't afford to overlook this need. The question is, who can the Ravens bring in? Free agency has some interesting options, but competition will be high, and the available money is limited. One alternative could be to go after cheaper players who can still contribute right away. What can happen is starting the season relying only on inexperienced youngsters and improvisation. With elite quarterbacks in the AFC, a secondary mistake could be costly in a crucial game. And if losing a good defender is concerning, imagine having to replace a team legend. That's exactly what could happen with the kicker position. Fan, this could be the most unbelievable change in recent years. The Ravens might need a new kicker. Justin Tucker, who has been one of the most reliable players in the team's history, is under investigation by the NFL, and this raises an unexpected problem. We're not just talking about replacing an ordinary player. We're talking about the most accurate kicker in NFL history. If Baltimore really needs to move forward without Tucker, finding a worthy replacement will be one of the biggest challenges of the offseason. The problem is that reliable kickers don't just show up out of nowhere. There are very few specialists who can maintain such a high level of accuracy for so long. The Ravens might try to sign a cheap veteran, but could they handle the pressure of replacing a legend? Another option could be drafting a young talent, but that brings huge risks, as rookies rarely come into the NFL kicking with the consistency the team needs. And we can't forget the psychological impact of this change. Tucker wasn't just a kicker. He was a safety net for the team in crucial moments. When the offense couldn't move the ball, just getting near midfield was enough for Tucker to finish the job. Without him, Baltimore could lose a strategic advantage and end up forcing more risky plays. This could completely change how the team handles close games. But while the offense may lose one of the best kickers in history, the pass rush could also face concerning losses. Without pressure on the opposing quarterback, the defense could lose strength and leave the secondary even more exposed. Well, we're past the halfway point of the video, but before we go on, I notice you haven't hit that like button yet. This is really important to help YouTube keep recommending my content to you, so I can keep bringing you all the latest updates. It's totally free, So go ahead and drop that like now. Thanks. Now let's continue. The Ravens were one of the teams that pressure opposing quarterbacks the most last season, but that strength might be under threat. Jadeveon Clowney, one of the most important pieces of the pass rush, is testing the market and could leave. Without him, Baltimore will become even more reliant on Odafe Oweh and David Ojabo, two talented players who haven't proven to be consistently dominant. If the team wants to stay among the best defenses in the league, they need a reliable pass rush. The big issue is that finding a good pass rusher in free agency isn't easy, and more importantly, it's not cheap. Players who can pressure the quarterback frequently always have market demand and secure a big money contract. The Ravens might try to bring Clowney back or search for a more affordable option, but without reinforcements, the impact could be significant. The AFC offense features quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen, and if you can't pressure them, the defense will be in trouble. Another point is that a strong pass rush helps the secondary. If the opposing quarterback has time to throw, even the best cornerbacks in the world will end up giving up yards. But if the pressure arrives quickly, passes are hurried, and mistakes happen. The Ravens need to maintain the formula that worked in 2023 and ensure their defense remains aggressive and dominant. But it's no use having a strong defense if the offense can't keep pace. And if there's one area that needs more attention, it's the receiver group, which still needs to make a leap in quality. We saw an improvement in the Ravens' passing game in 2023, but it's still not enough. Zay Flowers shined as a rookie, but beyond him, the receiver group still has many uncertainties. Odell Beckham Jr. might not return, and Rashad Bateman still hasn't justified his first-round selection. If Baltimore wants to give Lamar Jackson more options, they need to look for reinforcements in free agency or the draft to make this offense more dynamic. The big issue is that the Ravens have always struggled to nail their wide receiver signing. The team has invested heavily in names like Sammy Watkins and Dez Bryant in the past, but with little success. Now, with Lamar Jackson at his peak and a more balanced offensive system, this could be the best chance to finally build a reliable receiving core. It's not enough to rely solely on Mark Andrews or hope that Flowers can do everything on his own. An experienced name could be the missing piece to unlock this offense. Players like DeAndre Hopkins and Mike Evans might be available, but the price will be a challenge. Baltimore needs to decide if it's worth investing heavily, or they'll go for a cheaper name that can still contribute consistently. What can happen is entering the season with a group that doesn't inspire confidence. Now that we've outlined key areas the Ravens need to strengthen in free agency, the question is, what will the team prioritize? With limited cap space, Baltimore will need to make strategic choices to stay competitive in the 2024 season. Do you think the franchise should focus more on the offensive line or the secondary? Now, with everything we've discussed, it's clear the Ravens have huge challenges and opportunities in the 2025 free agency. Whether it's the offensive line, the secondary, or even the kicker, every decision will directly impact the team's performance. These areas are crucial to ensuring the team stays competitive and makes a Super Bowl run. The real question is, who will be the right player to fill these gaps and take the Ravens back to the top? If you also believe the franchise needs to act quickly to strengthen these positions, share your opinion in the comment and show how eager you are to see the Ravens dominate in 2025. We can't let bad decisions hurt the future of our team. Until next time, Ravens Nation.